Hi, ladies, and welcome back. This is session 3 in the marriage communication workshop. And I have to tell you, it's been exciting just to dig into these things with you and to hear your responses. So far, we have looked at owning our part, asking God to search us and know us. We have looked at accepting our husband as he is now, taking our expectations and setting them firmly at the feet of God, and watching as he works amazing things into our lives. Today, we are going to get into the third barrier to effective communication, and that is really understanding the effects of negative thoughts in our marriage. Okay, I think of these negative thoughts and the science behind it as this like super highway in our brain, right? So what happens is he does this, let's say, and my poor husband, I'm just going to throw him under the bus, okay? He habitually gets out of the shower, comes into the bedroom, throws his wet towel near the laundry basket, okay? Like inches from the laundry basket. And if I'm there, I will just, go and pick it up and put it in the laundry basket. But if I'm not there and I come in the next morning, whatever, I didn't catch it in time, you see this discolored, warped place on my hardwood floor. And so then all of these thoughts start to go through my mind. Now, I'm not saying I say all of them, although I have, okay, but these thoughts of, why couldn't he get 3 more inches, 6 more inches, whatever, into the wastebasket, into the laundry basket? He doesn't think about the effects of this and how hard it is to keep a hardwood floor looking nice in a house full of kids anyway. Like, he is a grown man. Why can't he get this piece, right? These are the thoughts going through my mind. And so what happens over time is that there begins to be this pathway from our experience of, him throwing his wet towel toward the laundry basket, our perception, the way we think about that experience in our brain, how we respond, how we react, how we internalize that situation. So much so that science tells us, okay, first of all, how crazy is it to think that our thoughts are literally on repeat over and over? And did you catch the percentage of them that are negative? That blows my mind. That it's probably true. Don't you think? How many of your thoughts are negative? Do you ever just assess your thoughts? Think about through the day, how many times did I think something negative? Like, as a kid, we grew up and we had like a swear jar. I don't know. That's just our family. They were trying to quit swearing. And so every time somebody caught them saying a word they weren't supposed to say, you put a quarter in the jar. Man, if I had a negative thought jar and every time I thought something negative, something had to go in that jar, I'd be in trouble. I don't have that kind of money. But listen, so what happens is every time I then begin to see him going toward the shower, my mind is automatically beginning to race and think about, keep up with the time, think about what he's doing, catch him as he comes out, make sure you tell him, throw it in the laundry basket, or, trying not to be negative, make sure you go behind him and pick it up and put it in the laundry basket. And it forges this highway, this pathway in my brain so that I am automatically assuming the worst. I'm automatically going to that negative place in my mind. Okay, they talk about brain pathways and all of this, but I think about it like a superhighway. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen them doing construction on the road? Like, they're trying to make it better, they're making it wider, they're making it easier for me to get from, point A to point B. Our brain is doing that. It's trying to make life easier for us. It says, hey, look, this chick, every time the man goes to the shower, she's automatically going here. So I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to make this furrow in her brain easier, this pathway, this road, so that she can just get here quicker. Let's use less energy all around. And over time, no matter how much I work on it, how much I try, I am going to say something bad about that. I am going to nag him. I'm going to nitpick him. I'm going to preemptively strike as I see him head into the shower, like, hey babe, when you come out of the shower, remember, aim 3 inches further, make it to the laundry basket, or, hey, look at this spot on the floor, like it's warped, it's like white now instead of brown, like this is because you can't get to the laundry basket, okay? And that's not what I want in my life. I don't want negative communication, right? That shuts him down. He's like, man, this woman is psychotic. She cares about this floor more than she cares about me or our marriage. And so today, when we're talking about understanding the effect of those negative thoughts, okay, it really is a 3-step process. We have to understand that those negative thoughts are making this superhighway in our brain so that we are just always going to assume the worst and think negatively about our husband in these situations if we let these thoughts go unchecked. Okay, I want to add that little caveat there because it's not like a forever thing. This is something you can reverse. It is completely reversible where we can become more positive thinkers. We're going to get there. The first part, though, is understanding the process. The next part is accepting that it matters what I think about. Do you ever have that? Like, as a Christian, it feels like there are all these rules about what I can and can't do. And for a lot of years, I struggled with that thought, like, God is this cosmic rule maker. He's like, all these rules that I can't meet and expectations that I can't live up to. But my thoughts, those are mine, okay? Nobody can tell me what to think. I may be saying, oh, you did a great job, and that's awesome. But it is fine if in my mind I'm thinking, man, that was half done, and you could have done better, and I wish, like all of those things, like those are mine, my thoughts, my personal space, and don't tell me what I can and can't think about. Seriously, you're going to give me rules about what I can think about? But the truth is that those thoughts are impacting my life. They're impacting my marriage. They're impacting my motherhood. They're impacting everything. And I have to accept that they cannot be left to run amok in my brain. I have to accept that. I have to own that. I have to surrender my thought life to God. In Matthew, he talks about, if you even lust after a woman, you have as much as committed adultery with her. The thought of lust is as bad as the sin of adultery. As I'm connecting that, I'm like, whoa, are you telling me that my thoughts can be sin? Obviously, God knows what I'm thinking. And to think that there is somewhere in heaven right now a catalog of all of those thoughts is embarrassing and makes me feel like, oh, crazy, and how do I fix this? And oh my gosh, I have thought some wild things in my life. Can you relate? We have to accept that it matters what we think about. So much so that the Apostle Paul tells us what we should think about. And I want to put this in here. We're going to dig into this and unpack it a lot tomorrow, okay? But I want to give you the why. Why does it matter? Why do we need to understand it and accept it and deal with the fact that there might be some sin going on that is causing a problem between us and God? In Philippians chapter 4, I feel like we always focus on chapter 8, right, where he's telling us what to think, right? He says, and this is a different version. I'm sorry if you're used to, but I like the simplicity of it. He says, now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about the things that are excellent and worthy of praise. That's a lot of different kind of thinking than I do in my everyday normal life. But I feel like we miss verse 9. Verse 9 gives us the why. Why deal with our thoughts? He says, because when we keep putting into practice all these things that we've learned, everything that we've heard from him, then the God of peace will keep you in peace. Peace. When God is keeping me at peace, right? He has this peace that passes understanding, and he can give that to me. And he tells us how we can get it, right? It has to do with getting our mind right, getting our thoughts focused on the things that are honoring him. When we do that, when we focus and we get this part right, we get his peace. So if I'm replacing my negative thoughts with thoughts that are going to bring me peace, guess what's going to come out of my mouth? To my husband, to my kids, to my coworkers, to people at church, to my neighbors. Peaceful words. Peaceful words. Good communication, good effective communication comes from a place that is calm and in control and filled with peace. And we can get to that. I love that the Bible never gives us this problem without giving us the solution, right? He doesn't just say, get that mind in order, girlfriend, or you're in trouble. No, he says, it matters what you think about. And let me tell you how to fix it. Let me give you every tool you need to deal with it. On top of that, as we're working toward it, we have the power of the Holy Spirit indwelled in us to empower us and work through us to make these changes. So as you're working through the workbook today, and listen, if you are catching this and you haven't registered for this free workshop, make sure you do it. The link to register is going to be below. Inside of your registration, you are going to get a workbook that's going to help you journal through these things today, as we are just coming before God to say, I've never really thought about my thoughts, and I'm getting that you have. Would you just shine your light and show me, reveal to me the things that need to be dealt with? Help me understand, help me accept this, help me confess what needs to be confessed and get right with you. Those pieces are going to be this momentum piece, this catalyst that propels us into tomorrow's work. Okay, so take the time to get it done today, because tomorrow we are going to battle against a very real enemy who would like to get our mind so wrapped up in the negative and so just stuck in our story. And we're going to do battle with him, and we are going to get unstuck and start walking toward positive thinking, which is going to lead to improved communication, effective communication that speaks peace into our home, words that bring life instead of those negative thoughts coming out and speaking death into our life and our marriage. So stick around, take care of your work today, read through the session, do the work in the workbook, and come back tomorrow ready to go to battle. Y'all, we are going to do some damage against an enemy who has been sure he has victory over us in this area. But guess what? We are more than conquerors through Christ, who gives us the strength, that peace. Christ, he gives us the strength to do this. And I cannot wait to see you tomorrow and get to that work. And until then, you have a blessed day.